Democrats make the case that they're the moral party. Editors note the opinions in this article are the authors, as published by our content partner, and do not necessarily represent the views of MSN or Microsoft. The great irony of Donald Trump's presidency is the dizzying contradiction between his and his claim to be. On stage at the Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts led the way, speaking about everything from immigration to health insurance in the language of values. We need to continue. In recent weeks, vivid imagery of crowded conditions in border detention facilities has taken over the news, and Warren put the blame on Trump's policies. It's been down to the border. Warren also criticized the assumptions that sneak into debates about the American health care system, among others, that profit-seeking is definitively moral and good, and that the country's economic system should be structured to benefit companies above everyone else. These insurance companies, Marianne Williamson, the author and spiritual self-help guru, also hit this theme hard during tonight's debate. An amoral economic. The other candidates seem to have taken note or at least realized that many Americans are looking for more than just a plan maker in chief in their next president. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont called for a humane border policy. In response to the Democratic candidates have not necessarily resolved, among themselves, what it means for a president to stand for American values. The fact that Democrats are having this debate at all, however, shows that they recognize the deeper stakes of the 2020 election. Presidential election.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.